theme for World Teachers Day 2024 was valuing teacher voices towards a new social contract for education. And so the question was asked, are the voices of teachers in the Bahamas being heard? And the voices replied, no. Thus gave birth to Classroom Chronicles, solution-based critiques among teachers about teacher-related topics in education. I am Ms. J, your host for this debut season of Classroom Chronicles. It's your first day in your new post. You've gone through 4, maybe 5 years of university training, and it's time to put it all in practice. But what you meet is not what you were taught it would be. It makes you question, what did I even learn? And how can I use it now? I'm lost. In today's session, we address teacher mentorship. Did it ever exist? Or is it a dying art? Today we have with us Miss Deandra Dorset from C.V. Bethel Senior High, Mr. Kirkland Charles from C.H. Reeves Junior High, and Mistress Letitia Clark from Government High School. I am Miss J, and this is Classroom Chronicles. Welcome back. Every year, new teachers join the profession, and often, just as quickly, they leave. Just this year, 300 plus teachers from Cuba joined the Bahamas Ministry of Education as trained teachers. But teaching in the Bahamas is new for them too, so I guess we can also consider them novice teachers. Do novice teachers need help, and who should be helping them? Let's talk.
I do believe that novice teachers need a lot of help. Simply because while we were in college, I graduated from COB. While we were in college, we were taught how to be better English speakers as opposed to English teachers. And when you come into the classroom, it's totally different. And so that transition sometimes can be a little bit difficult. So I do believe that as a novice teacher coming in, you need a firm hand, someone who is willing and able to help you to transition so you won't feel a little bit overwhelmed during that time.
Hand. I'm going to come back to the firm hand part. All right. What about you, Kirkland?
I hear my friend Deandra talking about a firm hand, and I agree with that. But in addition to that, I think it's important that as persons, I guess, who we consider to be the veteran teachers, we have to be those ones who are also, we have that personality that we are welcoming and we are willing to assist and be mentors so that those novice teachers will be willing to come to us and ask for that assistance. All right? So that's one of the things that I would definitely say on that.
Okay, thank you, Kirkland. And Miss Letitia?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here on the Classroom Chronicle. I would like to say that novice teacher, they need all the help that they can get. The classroom is a challenge. It's a challenge.
Be honest.
Yes, it's a challenge. Who we work with, it's a challenge. So wherever we can help those novice teachers, let's lend a hand.
Okay, so pause for a moment. Everyone is talking from a place of, I know this. I know the profession. So let's take it back to your first teaching experience. I want to start with Kirkland because it was the smile for me. So tell me, what was your first teaching experience like?
Yeah, because you see, when you think about the teaching profession, we always remember trying to get into the school system.
Foot in the door.
Get in the door before the children, right? So taking me back September 1st, 2014, me reporting to A.F. Adley Junior High at the time, the same day with the students. And it was a shock because you were hoping to be there to get your classroom prepared so that when the children come, they are coming into an environment that is welcoming. So you're trying to do the welcoming and getting your footing as well, trying to figure out where your classroom is, what it is that you have to do, who is your department members. All of that you're trying to figure out day one.
Was
with
your
the
letter
children.
ready? Did you get to go write it? Oh, sorry, that's a different topic again.
Okay, so we know about the teacher
Don't
orientation.
move until your letter comes.
So I got the call that Friday to report back to the ministry for my letter.
Okay.
So around 3:00 on Friday, I got that letter to report on Monday with the students.
Okay, so teacher week, that whole teacher week, you didn't have your letter. Student week, okay.
Yes.
What about you, Miss Letitia? What was your novice? How long have you been teaching, and what was your novice teaching?
I have been teaching now for 21 years.
Okay, 21.
Yes, I started with preschool.
Preschool.
Yes, I started from the bottom.
Ooh, and you here.
Preschool.
Now you're here.
I went to primary school for 13 years, and now I am at the senior school, the government high school. That's where I'm at this time.
Okay.
My first time stepping into the classroom, the doors, it was exciting and it was challenging. But for me, this is just me now, I love a challenge. So with a challenge, I am going to do my research.
But this is 21, 22 years ago.
Yes.
It's totally different from what it's like now.
Yes, but I'm just saying from my point of view, for me, back then, for me, it wasn't really a challenge. I embraced it.
Okay.
Because it was something that I wanted to do. So I went there with all of this excitement, even though I knew it was going to be challenging. So I did my research on whatever challenges.
You did your research first.
Yes, I had to do that, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's important. Do your research.
Yes.
Miss Deandra, how was your first teaching experience, like when you started?
Now, first of all, I need to establish that I am from Cricket Island.
Ooh.
And my graduating class was 9 students.
Oh, wow.
The entire school, which is 7 to 12, we had 56 in the entire school. So coming into Nassau, where there are like so many students in the school, I can tell you I took a break, first of all, when I went to C.R. Walker, and I was just overwhelmed. I took a break from COB at that time because I was overwhelmed with the amount of students. When I came back...
So it was a culture shock for you then?
It was.
Okay.
And when I came back, I applied. You know, there are 3 slots on that application of where you want to go. I tried for my first choice, Cricket Island. My second choice, just in case they didn't get it the first time, I put Cricket Island again. And then my third choice, I said, you know what? I've never been in Agua, but it's close enough to Cricket Island, so I put that. And you know where they sent me? CV Bethel.
Oh,
now...
Jesus.
CV Bethel? Now we have to do research because I'm like, what? And I've heard so many things about this school. I want you to know that I cried. I cried because I said, oh my gosh.
Thanks for your honesty. Look at your eyeglassy now.
I said, oh my gosh, they're sending me here? And I already look like a little girl because the first time I walked into the room, the vice principal said, hey, little girl, what do you want? And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Oh, well, I was told to come here as a teacher. So, you know, from then I decided to make sure that my hair always had a little weave in it.
Okay, because make it look a little more groomed.
Thank you so much. And my experience then was a little bit of, I felt out of place because it was a huge school, and then at that time, I was placed with someone who was not in my department as a co.
Okay.
But thankfully, she was a blessing in disguise. She assisted me so much with that homeroom information.
And that brings me to my next question. Did you or did anyone help you find your feet in education, and what are some of the things that they did? We're going to continue with you, Ms. Deandra, and then we're going to work our way across.
Well, she assisted me greatly. I was the teacher who was just there learning from her, and she was excellent with documentation. She showed me how to put everything online, do the registers, those type of things, and that's normally a challenge for a lot of teachers. And I was one of those new teachers who came in now knowing how to do that. So when she left a year later, I was prepped, ready to go, and believe it or not, I was able to train someone else
based on what she taught you.
She taught me so well. Miss Ali, she left the country, but she did an excellent job training me because she came from science and I was in language during the time. So it was beautiful. I enjoyed that time and that transition.
So having that mentor helped you to find your niche and to
Yes.
stay in education and
Yes.
to appreciate, all the facets of it. Kirkland, what about
Yes.
you?
So definitely, I had two department members that was very, very helpful. Because especially, so Deandra got posted at CV Bethel. I did my teaching practice there.
Okay.
So in all of my
So you
field
knew each other.
experience-
Y'all know each other?
Yeah, we
Class of
yeah.
2014.
Class of 2014, right? Yeah. So we all of my PowerPoints, resources, senior level, getting placed now at junior high, teaching 7 to 9. So my department was very helpful with all of that, getting resources for that particular level. And then I had a nice co as well, who would have assisted getting, because of course we were not taught at COB how to do registers, balancing that, all that stuff.
Forecast notes.
All of those things my co would have helped me out with, ensuring that I knew exactly what to do. And then of course we came in during the time, I think that may have been the last year with STI. And so with that particular system, learning how to set up your classes, to put your grades on for the report card,
Oh, boy.
they would have taken me through all of that to get all of that set up.
Oh my
All right,
goodness.
so
So
definitely
having
would
that
have
mentor
Yes.
was a
Very, very
big
helpful.
help for you.
Yes.
And not just any mentor, one that actually taught or mentored.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Miss Letitia?
Well, for me, I started at a private school, and I cannot remember anyone coming to assist me. I just cannot remember that.
So you were all on your
Yes, yes. When I first came in, I just had to get to work. It's work.
But how did you figure it out? How did you know what to do?
Well, in terms of the classroom, well, you're assigned your classroom. Well, you know what you're teaching. You prepare your lesson plans, so that's where it goes from there. Now, everything else, you better put it in place.
But you said this was at a private school.
Private
So
school,
let's talk a
yes.
little bit more about the government school system.
Yes.
So how was your experience coming into government? Did you have a mentor at the government?
Yes, coming into the government school, I did have quite a bit of mentor, I must say that. I started at I started at the preschool. Yes, my first year posted was at a preschool.
That make me weak.
Yes. And it was really nice to think about it, because
Really?
everyone came and they gave you the resources that you needed. And the persons who I was working with, they were so helpful. And so it was a fun time and a relaxing time, because we knew what we were doing and we assisted each other in doing those things.
So having a mentor, I guess, to everyone that really helped mold you and shaped you and kind of pick out your flaws as well as strengthen your strengths and kind of fix those weaknesses that you may have had and even teach you some of the things that you didn't even know. Forecast, lesson plans, the way that your supervisor wants it.
Right.
Not the COB lesson plan, not the lesson plan you taught, not the lesson plan you did on TP, but when you have that supervisor and that supervisor says, this is how I like my things, this is what you had to do. You had to adjust those lesson plans. So how can we now, as veteran teachers, be better mentors to novice teachers? I mean, none of you claim to have had a bad mentorship experience, but how can we be better to the novice teachers? We have the Cuban teachers that are here now. We have other teachers that may just be joining the profession. How can you be a better mentor to them? Let's start with you, Miss Letitia.
One way I think we can be better mentor is sharing our resources. That's a big thing.
Girl, I share my things.
Oh.
I'm sure you've heard that before, though.
Yes.
I mean, I share. Now,
Yes.
Don't come for me. I share. I'm a sharing person.
We don't like to share resources. For some reason, I don't know why we don't like to do that. But sharing resources will help that novice teacher a lot. The PowerPoint, the lesson plans, the forecasts, all of that. If you share those things, it will make them want to stay, I think, even more, because it's a less burden on them. That someone is there to guide them through this process.
Miss Deandra?
I concur with Letitia. I think that we need to be okay and comfortable in who we are as it relates to being a teacher, because oftentimes I feel like when new teachers come into the system, new teachers are oftentimes considered over the top. They're considered doing
They doing
too
the
much.
most.
They're considered trying to show off. And I think that as an experienced teacher, we need to be okay with understanding that that's that individual, and it's okay to help them to fly, because eventually they want to stop and relax a little bit. And if we are okay with that, we are able to feel comfortable telling them, how can you get better? Because I had one of my administrators during that time, because I started in junior high for my teaching practice. I started in junior high at St. Anne's during that time. And when I transitioned, the administrator immediately said, you need some training. You could go and get some training. Maybe being exposed to the BGCSE will help you. I had a mentor, an experienced teacher who every lunchtime had lunchtime classes and had me sitting in that room while he taught classes. And those things helped me to understand how you can connect with your teacher, how you can connect with your students to be a better educator. And lastly, the other thing I also had was in grade 5 or 6 back in Crooked Island, the principal at the time of the high school, she mentored me.
Oh, that's amazing.
At afternoon, Miss Cynthia Ferguson, she passed away now, but she took me in, and I was by her house, and she was teaching me during that time. So it's very important.
Thank you so much. We've been having such a wonderful conversation about teacher mentorship, and we will be right back after the break. This is Classroom Chronicles. Welcome back to Classroom Chronicles. Today we've been talking teacher mentorship, and we've been discussing how we can be better mentors to those that, we encounter within the profession. Kirkland, could you share with us about that?
Yeah, so I heard Letitia talking about sharing resources, making life easier for the novice teacher. And that's one thing what we as veterans should be doing. We have to come to the realization that it's not a competition. All right. I'm at the junior high level, and I'm actually the subject coordinator now for my department. So I manage.
So your head big. You swell up.
Listen, so I manage 4 teachers directly underneath me for family and consumer science, and I also oversee the visual arts department as well.
Wow, that's a lot.
But it's a lot. Yes, it is. But as it relates to family and consumer sciences, that's where my expertise really lies. You have new teachers coming in. You want to share exactly what it is that you would have learned on the job, and as I said, on the job. So because those persons who are coming directly from COB, they don't know nothing about national examinations, they don't know nothing about coursework and how to execute these things. So you want to be able to be that teacher that is willing to share your information, that's willing to mentor them and say, okay, this is what you need to do with your students at this particular time, or this is what you should be doing. How about doing this instead of that? And so that's the type of mentors that we need.
I totally agree with you. And I feel your passion. Like when you speak, like you really you passionate about this mentorship business.
Very much
like
so.
You about the mentorship business. So you've taught senior high as well?
Only for my field experience.
Only for
Up to
field
teaching
experience.
practice,
But
yes.
is senior high something that you would consider?
At this time, no.
Okay, what about an
administrator? I've been at junior level so long.
Okay.
I can't see myself going back at the senior level at this point.
Okay, so leaving the classroom isn't something, because you're already an HOD, so leaving the classroom isn't something that you would consider, and probably as an administrator running a mentorship.
Whatever the Lord sees fit.
Let him have his way.
Let him have his way.
Praise him. So what can we as teachers do to mentor other teachers from our perspectives, from our seats? Like some of the things I haven't shared with you guys, but I'm at LW Young, and some of the things that we had, especially coming out of COVID, was, we had sessions where persons that were skilled with using the computers were able to assist, the veteran teachers they're veteran teachers. They know their stuff, but when it came to using the computer, they were a little, we can need some help. Please help me. And so we had opportunities that we sat with them and we went through certain things, teaching them the learning management system, showing them how to put in and input data and all of that. That whole teacher, we had a mini class, just several sessions with those that needed one-on-one. we gave them that one-on-one attention. And for me, that's a part of mentorship. That was one of the things that we did at LW Young. A few other things that we did is we have PLCs, learning communities, where we get together in groups and we focus on certain different aspects within our school and the culture. And we try to boost not only morale, but also to provide, little steps that, persons may be interested in moving along this track, or this person may be interested in going that track. So we try to find ways to help and encourage the members of our staff. Now, I've only been posted to 2 schools, and both of my schools have been junior high schools. So I really feel as though like junior high is, for me, that's where I want to be. However, I've also been able to mentor several, I think at least 4 teacher education majors. I've been able to mentor them. One of them, I was able to take her straight from her observations all the way to TP. She passed with an A, by the way. I just got to put that out there because I got to toot my own horn, beep, beep. So, and then the others, they were just with us for a time and then they moved on. But they call me from time to time and ask for advice. I even have a few other teachers that they're now in the profession, but they're novice and they need help. So they reach out. Could you help me with my objectives? Can you help me? Could you look at this lesson and tell me if I could improve it or what I can add or take out? Is it too much information? That kind of stuff. So how can we mentor our novices as they enter the profession? Miss Letitia, you look like I'm ready with this answer.
Oh, yes, I would say make yourself available to them. I think that's the best thing we can do as novice teachers. I say that because they come out of school and they feel that they are interrupting you all the time or bothering you.
Everybody busy?
Yeah, everybody's so busy. But as a novice teacher, you will let them know that you're not bothering them. You're not bothering me. You can come anytime, whatever you need, come and I will assist you with it. So I think just making yourself available to them is one of the best things that we can do as novice teachers. So be available,
be present.
Yes.
Kirkland?
Yeah. So definitely allow them in your classrooms. So whenever...
Don't close the door. Don't lock the windows. Don't have your own private... Okay.
No, none of that. None of that. Make yourself available. Allow them in your classrooms. For me, teaching a practical area, because we know that even on teaching practice, you may not be able to do so much with your kids in that 10, 12-week period. So if you need to know how to execute practicals within a timely manner so that Ms. Dorset in English don't be hounding you but holding the children back because the practical ain't finished on time, allow them to come in, view, see what it is that you would have done, because you learn tricks along the way. So you want to be able to share those with them.
Little cheat sheet.
Exactly.
To get on the cheat sheet.
Very much so.
Yes, Ms. Deandra?
Well, for English, I think in our department, because I am the subject coordinator at CV Bethel for English. And what happens during that time is we normally, because a lot of people are not comfortable coming to you to ask, and sometimes they don't even know what they need help with. So what we normally do is whenever we find something that works in our class, whenever we have a worksheet or something of that sort, we just make an extra copy and say, hey, you might actually like this.
Yes,
and
I love
sometimes they just take it and they're like, oh yeah, I was actually trying to figure out how to do this, how to do that. And sometimes when we're sitting down, they would ask, well, I have my observation coming up. What do you think I can do? So we have those type of random conversations. And oftentimes, we also have this open door policy where I know teachers like to, when they're teaching, they want their space. But we sometimes would walk into another teacher's class and you're able to see what they're teaching and you're staying there for a while. And you realize you have 2 teachers in the room just sitting there learning from each other. And then you would have that conversation about how can I make that better. Those are other ways that we found that actually work with us, and we have a good working relationship.
That is important.
When it comes to newer people coming into the department,
everybody to feel
you are
welcome.
Comfortable in that way when it comes to that.
Yes. Have any of you done, thank you, have any of you done the teacher mentorship program through the ministry? No. None of you?
Yes.
How was that experience, and how can it be improved? Or was it, that was it, that's all I needed?
Honestly speaking, when I got called for the mentorship program, I was in year 3.
Yeah, 3.
And so,
hold on, could you say that a little louder, please? I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly and that we all can hear you. See how loud I talking? Like, we just want to make sure. So you were in year 3.
I was in year 3.
When they called you for the mentorship program.
Now, I don't know if they were trying to reach before, but I know year 3 was when I got called that we have this mentorship program and you're going to just go to the ministry to be mentored. During that time, because I was already in the ocean, already learned how to swim and do those things, it was not as beneficial as it could be. Simply because I would have already learned a lot of those things in year 1. In year 2, I even got a little bit better. In year 3,
you felt like
I felt like I was almost there.
You know,
I was, yes.
Okay.
So I think that with the mentorship program during that time, it was not beneficial for me because some of the things that I was learning now, I had already done. And even some of the things that they were teaching at that time wasn't things that they are requiring then. They were requiring then in the classroom to do. Things changed a little bit.
Okay, and none of you...
Nah, yeah, I actually was one of those who got the call the first year into the classroom. Now...
The mentorship program, you got the call for that.
Yeah, the mentorship program. Now, it wasn't a good experience for me. I don't feel as though it was beneficial. Be honest, this is
a safe space.
That's what I'm saying. It was not beneficial. What I think the mentorship should be leaning more towards, I don't know if it's being revamped yet.
I'm all ears. I listen.
Yes, go. But it would be easier if we would assign novice teachers mentors. Because what I got was a forum. Okay. And a forum mixed with primary, junior, and secondary teachers. I don't need to know what's going on in the primary classroom. I don't teach 12 subjects.
Okay.
I don't have 35 children with me from 9 to 3.
That's right. Bring the honesty.
All right. So we in the junior senior high, we know that we teach multiple classes. In particular, I'm an option teacher, so we teach in bands.
Right.
So our experiences are not the same.
Not the same, exactly.
So we need to match the mentorship program to what the needs are for each individual teacher, each individual subject area.
Yes.
And so I believe it would be more beneficial if you assign a mentor, just like how I said when I went to A.F. Vartley, I had 2 teachers in particular in my department who were very, very beneficial to me in getting me grounded to teach junior high. That's where we need to be going with that.
So is this mentorship, I guess, buddy system that you're suggesting, is it such that you're going to put a clarion call out there through the ministry and ask, are you interested in being a mentor? Join this pool? Is that how you're going to do it?
That would be an excellent way to start. Just like how recently when they were asking for former teacher cadets, if they're interested in serving as advisors for teacher cadets.
Okay. So that's you in there.
Do that. Well, I'm not at the senior high where the teacher program is, so, right, so.
Teacher cadet?
Yeah.
I was a former cadet.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Teacher Cadets program. This is how we keep getting more and more teachers in the fray, and mentors are available for you in the persons of all of us present. Like we're excited about education. We're interested in education. We want to share our knowledge of education with others so that they can glean from us as mentors. The cheat sheet, those things that we need them to know that they won't teach you at the college level or within the university. Thank you so much for joining us on today's session of Classroom Chronicles, where you are encouraged to listen to teachers, acknowledge our expertise, and address the challenges we face. Today we had with us Miss Deandra Dorset from CB Bethel Senior High, Mr. Kirkland Charles from C.H. Reeves Junior High, and Mistress Letitia Clark from Government High School, as we talked about teacher mentorship and answered the question, is it a dying art? And considered a change of pace wouldn't be so bad. I am Miss J, your host. See you on the next one. This is Classroom Chronicles.